Man, the Grammys were boring. No? I hope you didn't watch them, cause I did. But I hope you had a chance to watch some football this weekend. But if you didn't, hey, you've come to the right place, my man. We're gonna talk about the top 5 leagues in Europe, plus a little bit about another random league from Europe, as per the custom. Lately, at least I've been doing that lately. I'm Adrian, by the way, and welcome to Rabona TV. Before we do all the recapping and reviewing, I'll be doing another live show on Wednesday, but instead of a chat back episode, you know, where we talk about any random football topic, we're gonna do a transfer talk special, seeing as the transfer window will be closing Wednesday. Cool? Cool! Leave some transfer topics below, then join me on Wednesday, and we'll talk it up. All right? Peace! Just kidding. Let's start in France, you know, because I saved them for the last few episodes, so let's switch that up and give some love to Edinson Cavani, because it only took him 11 minutes to open the scoring against Montpellier, and in doing so, became PSG's top scorer across all competitions with 157 goals from 229 appearances. Later in the match, he set up his frenemy Neymar, who, by the way, scored a penalty earlier in the match, taking his tally to 7 of his last 7 penalties converted. Neymar has now been involved in a staggering 28 goals in Ligue 1, meaning he's been involved in more goals than any other player in the top 5 leagues. PSG has now scored more league goals than any other team in the top 5 leagues, with 71. The second place team is, of course, Manchester City with 70. Mind you, they've played an extra match. Lyon couldn't get the job done away to Bordeaux as they fell 3-1, with Bordeaux scoring 2 penalties. Lucky for Lyon though, Monaco and Marseille played on the day, drawing 2-2. Sorry about that rhyme, that was a total accident, I swear. Hey look! In Spain, just as we talked about in one of our live shows, Real Madrid reverted back to their tried, tested, and true 4-3-3 formation. And what happened? They reverted back to dominating matches. This time, a toughie against the team one place above them, Valencia. Mind you, going into this, Valencia has only beaten Real Madrid twice in their last 17 matches against them. Ronaldo slammed home 2 penalties in the first 40 minutes, which also took him over 100 penalties converted for both club and country across all competitions. And in doing so, took his La Liga total to 8, and his goal haul across all competitions to 20. Meaning he scored 20 or more goals in every single one of his seasons at Madrid. Attaboy. Now, a 4-1 win over Valencia at the Mestalla is fairly emphatic, but we can't forget that Valencia hasn't been in great form lately either, as they have lost 4 of their last 6 matches. So the big win over Deportivo could have been a turning point, and Zidane reverting back to the 4-3-3 could also help them to turn things around. But Madrid fans can't get too ahead of themselves, for their own good. Remember, you still got bounced from the Copa del Rey just recently, so again, for your own good, don't get your hopes up. Yet. And just focus on the Champions League, like Ronaldo said. And hey, this could be an incredible season if you're able to get 3 in a row. That would be wild. Atletico, on the other hand, continued their purple patch of defending, though their attack has been alright too, as they dispatched of Las Palmas 3-0. Before talking goals, for the 19th of their 21 La Liga matches so far, Atletico went into halftime with a clean sheet, which is insane, man. Antoine Griezmann opened up the scoring in the second half before Fernando Torres scored the 600th goal for Atletico under Diego Simeone. That's across all competitions, of course. But Thomas Partey, and I won't make any obvious party puns, I promise, capped it all off with his 5th goal of the season, scored with just his 5th shot on target this season. So that, my friends, is a real economical boy. But let's all rain down the compliments on Jan Oblak, as he's only now starting to get the love he deserves. In the win over Las Palmas, he played in his 100th La Liga match. He has more clean sheets than he has conceded goals, and has a better goals against record than Casillas, Valdez, and Courtois had in their first 100 matches. Legend in the making? Speaking of legends, Barcelona continued their reign at the top as they took on Alaves. This was Lionel Messi's 200th appearance at the Camp Nou in La Liga, and in the 2-1 win, he took his goal involvement to an incredible 286 goals, with 212 scored and 74 assisted, all at Camp Nou. Suarez kicked someone in the stomach, but also added another goal to his insane run of 11 goals scored in 8 straight matches. Okay, enough Spain. Let's take a look at Italy, where Inter and Roma continued their struggles. In regards to Inter, they could only manage a draw, their 4th in a row in the Serie A, this time against Spal. Inter are now winless in their last 7 league matches, which is not great. They need Managiorno. And Roma, on the other hand, fell 1-0 to Sampdoria, meaning they have only picked up 3 points in their last 6 matches, which is their worst run of form since like February of 2013. On the opposite end of that, Napoli won again with a 3-1 win over Bologna, coming back from 1-0 down, meaning they have gained 18 points of a possible 21 from matches in which they had been losing this season. They look like a lock for the Serie A title, but only if they can hold off Juventus, who are right on their heels with 56 points, just 1 point behind them. Juve did have it tough, however, as they were frustrated by 9-man Chievo before Higuain decided to show up, finally, and score his 2nd goal in his last 10 matches. But anyway, that's an exciting race in Italy that you should keep your eye on. Juve and Napoli won't square up for a few months, however, so be patient, people. I mean, the entire landscape of the league could change by then. You know, I've been rotating different leagues into my weekend recaps, and this week, I think I feel like talking about Turkey. So let's do it. So, Arda Turan went on loan to Istanbul Başakşehir, and they are making moves this season, but I don't know if they won or not because they play today, so check for yourselves. But the league leaders at this point in time on a Sunday night, Galatasaray won their 3rd on the trot after having some spotty form, as they beat Osmanlıspor 2-0 thanks to goals from Premier League legends Feghouli and Bafétimbi Gomes. Keeping it interesting, Besiktas won against Kasımpaşa with the dynamic duo of Ricardo Quaresma and Anderson Talisca doing the damage for Besiktas, as Quaresma set up both goals for Talisca. So that keeps Besiktas in the conversation, as it's tight at the top in Turkey, with just 5 points separating 1st and 4th. Speaking of the top 4, Fenerbahce kept their unbeaten streak alive with a draw away to Trabzonspor. Fener hasn't lost in the Turkish Super League since September 29th, by the way, so keep your eye on the Turkish League, and if you're flipping through the channels and a match pops up from Turkey, then consider watching it. Expand your horizons, get global with it. Alright, let's hit Germany, where there were draws galore, or at least 5 of the 9 matches ended in a draw, and if you had offered Julian Nagelsmann a draw away to Bayern Munich before the match, he probably would have taken it, as it would have furthered his positive record versus his thought-to-be next team. Instead, they got smashed up 5-2, with Sandro Wagner, of course, scoring his first Bayern Munich goal against his former team in the 90th minute to make it 5-2. Hoffenheim fans must have let their imaginations get away on them a little bit, though, as they actually took an early 2-0 lead, only to blow that by the time the first half had ended, and then get smashed in the second half, leaking 3 goals. Second place Leverkusen kept the pressure on Bayern Munich, ensuring they didn't extend that 16-point lead, you know, as Leverkusen dispatched of Mainz 2-0. Dortmund, though they did have Aubameyang in their lineup this time, were unable to get a win against Freiburg as they took part in their 3rd consecutive draw. At least they aren't losing, right? Can't say the same about Liverpool, though. There's a segue for you. Sorry, Liverpool fans. I mean, Arsenal got booted by Forest, and you got the boot by, well, at least a Premier League team. As West Brom went to Anfield and became the first team since Real Madrid in 2014 to score 3 first-half goals. And the 4th round is where Liverpool has been eliminated from the FA Cup for the last 3 seasons that Jurgen Klopp has been in charge. Are you following me? You get me? This is high-paced stuff, man. You can't be snoozing during my weekend reviews. And speaking of threes, Michy Batshuayi became the 3rd Chelsea player to hit double figures in the goal department as he scored a stunning brace against Newcastle. Wow, just take a look. And Marcos Alonso took his goal involvement to 10 across all competitions this season, becoming the first Premier League defender to reach double digits this season. Also, Chelsea became the first ever Premier League side to field 2 players that were born in the 21st century, as they brought on Callum Hudson-Odoi and Shia LaBeouf's younger brother, Ethan Ampadu. Am I the only one that thinks he looks like him? Yeah, well, alright. Well, Mourinho gave Sanchez his debut against 4th tier side, Yeovil Town, and apparently he was the man of the match? I mean, he got a couple of assists, but hit the boy Rashford with that man of the match, you know? Not to say Sanchez was bad, but as some Redditors said, it seemed sort of like a PR move. Maybe. Oh, and remember when I said that Chelsea now had 3 players hitting the double digits goals-wise? Well, after their 2-0 win over Cardiff, and with Kevin De Bruyne scoring, City now have 5 different players, all on double digits scoring-wise. This match also saw Joe Bennett from Cardiff come close to ending Leroy Sané's season, to which the German national team even stepped in and said, "Hey, Cardiff City FC, just letting you know, we have a really important tournament in the summer. Please don't hurt our players. Thanks. Hashtag Die Mannschaft. Hashtag Insane." And also a little pray emoji was in there, I believe. Also, with the Grammys happening this weekend, I thought, it's awards time, guys, as we gotta give out the Rabona TV award for the greatest disallowed goal of the season so far that maybe shouldn't have been disallowed. And this, my friends, goes to Bernardo Silva, the second Silva at City. Scope. And that's it for this episode. Remember, leave some topics for me down below, leave a like if you thought that the Grammys were boring, and I'll catch you in the next video. My name is Adrian. Adios.